All right. We are live with the man, the myth, the legend.
Ding.
Mr. Robert Syslo, the video genius.
Ding. What's up, man? Creative genius now, but it's cool. It's cool. It's all right.
Genius.
It's good.
So
how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. We won't get too deep into it because we're going to let a bunch of people hop on, but I know a lot of people watch. We'll have probably a couple thousand people watch this on the after probably the next couple of days, but we'll let a few people jump on before we get into the meat and potatoes. If you don't know who Robert Syslo is, here they are. Now they're jumping on.
They're jumping on.
He has a special place in my heart because, listen, guys, I'm just a simple dude from Louisiana. I don't, we eat crawfish, we hunt, we fish. We don't know how to do content. We don't know how to get on video. We don't know how to do a Facebook Live. And this dude helped me get out of my, my comfort zone. I think I met him at Grant Cardone's office probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Was it that long ago?
Oh, dude, it was a long time ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah, at least 4 years ago. And I went with Gianni because he wanted to interview me. I remember, and that's where I met you.
Yeah. Gianni. Yeah. It was right after the first Growth Con, right? Yeah, that's what it was.
Yep. And got hooked up with Robert. Robert's like, dude, you want to get your own show? You want to learn how to brand and market? And I was like, sure, let's roll. So
I've never done that before. How we do that?
Yeah, I'm like, how does that work, right? And I remember, so I got hooked up with Robert and started training me on how to become the authority in the wholesaling space, right? How to brand myself as the person that everybody knows and everybody goes to for wholesaling. And the dude literally revolutionized my mindset on branding and marketing, on how to get attention, establish myself as the authority, and then how to scale that into a brand where everybody knows when they think Chris Rood, they think wholesaling, mobile home parts, right? And that's what I've done. Honestly, that's what I've done, and I have this man to thank. But without further ado, Robert Syslo, tell us kind of how did you get, how did you get to the point where you got into marketing and branding, and maybe we can talk and it'll go into like, why is it so important to build a brand and market?
Yeah. So I actually, first of all, always a pleasure to talk to you and hang out with you. Good guy. I like it. So how I got started. So actually I've been doing this for 18 years and I didn't even know I was doing it at the time. I would go out. I lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I would go out and film for City Search, Yellow Pages, NBC Universal, Hilton, and those things. They would hire a filmmaker, and then you'd go and you'd build a video for the business, the restaurant, the location, that kind of a thing. And, so we had 24 hours to do it, but I was in charge of the whole creative process, right? So I was building these ads and these looks, these images, these feels, the emotions, all those things for these companies. And I traveled around the world doing that. I went all over New Mexico, Los Angeles, China, Caribbean, Latin America, landed in Miami. And, but I was never good at business. Like I was really good at, at production and artist stuff and all those things. But what I lacked was business. And where we met was with, Cardone. And so, I helped produce content there and all of those things. And I started to learn sales while I was there. And I was like, I'm learning this. I asked for 2 raises. The third time they're like, nope, you got to go sell something. So I was like, great. So I was making, 38 grand a year, something like that. And I remember I sold my first marketing deal. It was $15,000 and all paid in full. So I made $1,500 and I was like, that's my 2-week paycheck in a day. Are you kidding me? What? You can do that? And so that's where it all just began. I took, and it evolved, right? So it was just videos and it was just showing things and highlighting people and building cool images and all that stuff. Then it started going a little bit beyond that. I'm like, oh, we're going to build shows. We're going to promote. We're going to educate people on how to build a brand. And I didn't know what branding was until I actually was in that environment, but that's what I had been doing.
What is branding, Robert? Give them the technical definition in your own words. And I know it's not good. You just tell them what your definition of branding is, because you told me one thing and it always stuck in my mind. I'll let you say first, and I'll follow up with what you told me, and I thought it was genius.
Sure. Well, branding for me is literally just it's the creation of the emotion, the feeling, the representation, the digital identity of an individual. That's all it is. It's just the digital identity. Like you see me, you see what I do, you see my life, you see all the things that I have. It's a digital identity. That's all it is. But really what I focus on right now, because that's a small piece of it, but my whole business today is focused on the idea of promotion, because that's the correct term. Everybody says advertising and marketing. That's actually the wrong word. For me, advertising is the mechanical financial delivery of my promotion. And promotion is the act of getting your information out about your product and service and furthering your business. That's actually what we're doing. So we could talk about advertising and we can talk about branding and we could talk about marketing, but to me, branding is a piece of promotion. So I actually focus on that, which is the direct creation and furtherance of everything that you represent and what you're about, because that's what it is. So the brand is a part of that. Obviously, you know, you're in real estate, you do that, but how do you set yourself apart? And we'll go into all the meat and potatoes of that. Now I got that in my head because you said it before, but that's really the focus, right? So the brand is the digital identity of an individual. The promotion is the actual the movement of getting it known and communicating, and then advertising is the mechanical delivery of the brand and the promotion. So just to clear that up for everybody that's watching, whatever anybody else ever said, this is the actual information you should know, because that's what's going on.
And guys, just so you know, like if you could be, listen, you could be the best wholesaler, you could be the best mobile home park owner, you could be the best lawn service guy, you could be the best car wash guy, you could be the best anything. If nobody knows who you are and you don't brand, it doesn't matter, folks. Like this is the tip of the spear. Branding, marketing, and advertising is the tip of the spear, right? Would you agree with that, Rob?
Oh, totally. Like I can't close deals. I can't make a name for myself. Really what I'm focused on is there's so many, everybody and their mother can be an advertising person or a social media person. But if you can't sustain it with long form content and production all the time, like you're playing a littler game than what I'm looking for. Like I'm literally going into a space and saying, yeah, you guys do all this. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to make it my own thing. Just like with what you're doing in real estate. Like how many mobile home park, you know, all that stuff, the stuff that you're involved in, there's people doing that. But the only difference is that you're Chris Rood. Nobody's going to be Chris Rood. Nobody's going to create that space like you. You create it. You just say, this is it. I built it. Let's go. Yep. Everybody's like, what the hell? How did you do it? You just did it. So there's this thing where it's like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to progress. I don't know what to say. It's like, you just make it. If you really think about it, all the guys that are out there right now that are at top level, top of their game, they just did it. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm going to get this. No, they just went in there and cleared out the area and moved everybody around a little bit and just said, I'm going to plant my feet here. So that's what you're doing. And that's what I'm doing.
Yep, absolutely. Guys, we got quite a few people on here. Please share the stream. If you have questions, look, we've got Robert Syslo in here.
That's right.
So bring your questions while we're here. We're going to get into how he can help you. He's one of my mastermind speakers in Destin, Florida, October 22nd through the 24th. Try to make it, guys. Listen, even if you don't, maybe you're not even in the real estate space. Last year I had 5 people out of the 25 that came last year to the mastermind. They weren't even in real estate. They just came to get the content.
You throw the best events, man. Like this is, we're working on your promotion right now. And the first thing you told me when we got on that phone call, we started working together was, yeah, we do the wholesaling and all that stuff, but I got to fix people's mindset first. Yep. So you're a whole encompassing thing. So when you go to these events with Chris, that's what you get. Yeah, you talk about real estate. Yes, you talk about investing. Yes, you talk about wholesaling. But none of that works unless you got the viewpoints right. And that's what you do differently than anybody else. Because everybody comes out, it's like, oh, I got this wholesale deal. It's amazing. The ROI on this is going to be sick. But you're going to say, are you prepared to actually endure what you have to do to get that deal to work? Are you prepared to keep that going? This is not a one-time thing. This is a long-term thing. Same thing with marketing and promotion.
it's not the how-tos of how you do something. It's how you think about the how-tos, right?
It's too mechanical. Like you can't get that mechanical about anything. People are like, oh, what platform should I post on? And, you know, how am I going to create content? It's like, that's too mechanical. Like the action is more important than anything else.
Folks, it's the thought behind the thought that pushes the thought into action, but it's the thought behind the thought. Like you got to really believe what you're doing. And especially in my game, guys, you know, I'm a shark, guys. I don't claim to be, you know, nice in the game. I play to win. I'm an ethical shark, but if you come around me, I'll eat you. It's as simple as that, right? Because I'm here to dominate the space, right? And
dangerous.
And yeah, I'm dangerous to my environment. And Rob has helped me with that. Rob is going to help you guys. And you need to learn to stand out. And the way you stand out is through content. Rob is going to show you how to create content, like he showed me. Like literally, do you think I knew how to create content? Like I get so many people, Chris, you're such a natural. I get this all the time, Robert.
How were you when you first started, though?
How old was I? Or?
No. But how were you when you first started doing the content, though?
I was terrible. The first time Rob said, "Listen, Chris, you need to make some videos," I was like shaking. I was like, "Shit." I went in my pool. I literally went in my pool. I was like, not even being myself. I wasn't even being natural. I was trying to be fake. I'm like, I'm in my pool. I'm like, I sent him a video. I was like, Rob, how was this? He said, and this is honest to God truth. Rob is my witness. Rob said, do it again, dude. That was, he said, do it again, dude. Do it again. And I was like, yeah, okay, right. So I did it all over again. And I was just myself. And guys, being real and being yourself connects and giving pure, go ahead.
But a mistake, see this, but here's the thing about that, you know, where you start, the first thing you do is you just start grabbing what other people did. You start emulating other people, other messages, all of these things that people have said already. And you're like, well, they did it. I'm going to do it. The second you do that is the second you lost.
It's true.
You've just lost the ability to connect with anybody. And I don't use words like value. I don't use words like authentic. I don't use words like transparency. I never say those words because they don't mean anything. They mean nothing. I'm transparent. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, well, really, I should just be able to see that you're transparent. Now, Chris, the thing you do amazing, you're always going. You're always promoting. You're always there. You're at your house. You're in your front porch. I see your stories. You're drinking coffee. The wife is there. The kids, everything. Oh, your life is there.
Yep.
That's transparent.
Yep. It's real.
That's the same thing I do. But the thing is that when somebody starts, they look at a big boy and they say, I'm going to do that. No, you're not. Because no matter what you do, you'll never be that person. You're always going to be the individual that you are right now. Now, when someone says be yourself, well, what the hell does that mean? I don't know what that means. So that's a tough question. Be yourself. I had people tell me that when I was like 21 years old, and I'm like going out and I got to go speak to people or go on a first date. And they're like, be yourself. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
That is so true.
But you know what they're really saying that they don't say is that what is it in your universe that you have around you that makes up the essence of you, your life, and everything like that? Like the stuff that I didn't think people would like is exactly why they liked me. You know, the weirdness, the kookiness, the explosions, the fire, the surfing, you know, the cars, all that stuff. It was just, well, not really the cars. I try not to make that the centerpiece. But the point of the matter is, though, is that it's just the things that I normally am when there's not a camera around. It's what I am when the camera's around. Like there is no change. There's no shift. It's just.
Yeah, Rob's just like, didn't mean to cut you off. Rob is just like this, real fidgety, full of energy, just all over the place, getting
stuff. How did you handle all my energy? I'm like, dude, that's why I'm on a training program. So
the first time I saw Rob, I told Patty, I said,
oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
I said, you see that guy over there? I said, that dude gets shit done. Like literally you do this, you from back to stage doing stuff. You got so much stuff done and completed so many things. I was like, this dude, I got to meet this dude. But yeah, no, Rob is just like he is now. He's on camera. But Michael Jewell, a good buddy of mine, has a question. He says, if you're wanting to build a brand that is filled with fake gurus, how would you go to gain the audience trust in the beginning? And before you answer that, Rob, I know this guy personally. He slays it in the online futures trading. Like he trades on the stock market, makes I ain't gonna say he makes boatloads of money doing this. And he's looking, I talked to him today, he's looking to build a brand. And
I got to tell you, man, you got to have a very specific type of mindset to be able to do that. You have to be super disciplined. You have to be super calm, and you got to be able to just experience the you know? So congrats if you're already killing that, Michael. That's awesome. So here's the thing about gurus. I'm not trying to be a guru, and I don't think anybody should try to be a guru. I think what I would do is what we've been talking about. It's not even I think. I know this. If you were my client, the first thing I would ask you is I would say, so what do you do during your day? Like, what do you think? What do you observe? What do you see? What's logical? What's illogical? What makes sense? What doesn't make sense? And then I would say, what are all the viewpoints you have on those things? Well, blah, 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 blah. Good. Welcome to your brand. That's it. There's nothing more. There's nothing crazy. I mean, there's a lot of levels to that, but I'll use an example where, like, let's just say in your space, right? I mean, I dabbled in that space a little bit. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my thing. I don't have I like what I do now, and it's on purpose for me. But I mean, I do know of a few gurus in that space, and I can tell you that it's almost, they're selling an idea and a dream, but what they don't sell you is the reality of what it takes to get that dream done. Actually, I think any guru does that, not just in that space. I think any guru does that. But for you, you need to be on the level where it's like, dude, I just lost $25,000 in 30 seconds. But guess what? I made it back in a minute. Let me show you how I did that. Right? Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm up 100K. It's the NYSE bell just rang at 9:30 in the morning. Or you're trading the Nikkei over there in Japan at 4 in the morning, and you're like, I'm up at 4 in the morning. Now I'm not an early guy. I don't do that. I'm sorry. I just don't believe in it, because if you get up at 4 and you go to bed at 8, I can get up at 7:30 and work till midnight, and it's the same thing. And then I heard somebody say, well, no good deals happen after 10 p.m. I'm like, yeah, well, tell that to the people that I help in Australia and Europe, because that's not true. So, you know, I'm very much about, I know we're diverging.
I wish I had a big bell that could bang right now. Boom.
Boom. Anyway, point of the matter is that how I would handle that situation is I would first look at what other gurus are saying and really ask yourself this one question. What does it mean? What is it that they're saying, and what do they mean by that? Because when you ask that question, you're forcing a situation where you're basically testing what they're saying as real, right? And if it's a little bit off, or it doesn't quite make sense, or it's kind of contradicting, you can just slide right in without having to mention anybody's name and talk about what's the truth. You don't lie in promotion. You don't make things up. You don't do things over the top just to do it. You do it truthfully. And that is how you gain the trust of an audience in the beginning. It's, here's logic for you. Here is logic. Here's what's said, but this is the actual thing of what they're actually saying. You know what I mean? And it's like that, I don't like to use this as an example, but it's the same thing. Like somebody says to you, get attention. And my first question is, what the hell does that mean? What do you mean by get attention? Do I have to spelunking? Do I need to swan dive off the 43rd floor of the building?
Attention, Rob. I mean, there's all kind of ways. I mean, exactly to the point. Like somebody says, get attention. Well, I can go rob a bank. I can go try to attempt to assassinate somebody, and I can get a lot of attention doing that too. But to your
attention
point,
to me, this is what attention means to me. It means that I was able to deliver some sort of practical and applicable piece of information to you today that you can help. And now you're in my field of view as an audience member, and we have an ecosystem. Now you know what to expect from me, because that's all I do. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when I hear attention, I'm like, well, what is the quality of that attention? Because you could do, and the Forex guys, what I see them do the most times is they buy a Lamborghini, they stand in front of the Lamborghini in Dubai, and they're like, look at this. Now you have to ask yourself, what kind of client do you want? What kind of people do you want in your circle? Because I don't want oh, look at me, I got a Lambo. I want guys like you, Chris. I want my big clients that are across the world that are making 100 million or more. And I want to work with them because I'm going for a long-term thing. I'm not going for the let's just get money now. And I think that kind of happens in the Forex space a little bit, where it's like you can make money today. That's true, but there is a deep level of training that has to go through. And I'm not just talking about patterns and algorithms and, pullbacks and, all those things. What I'm talking about is mental, because you have to be mentally prepared to even, before you even put money in a trading account, you need to be mentally prepared for what it is you're about to do. And if that is not talked about, if that is not explored, well, people are going to be like, oh, you're fake. I don't like you.
Yep.
And the same thing with you, Chris, in real estate. That's why you focus on that.
I love what you're saying, because you're talking my jam, because I talk about this in a lot of my, my Instagram. Dude, do you know how you can spot a guru? Is if all they do is talk about the upside and the good stuff. If you're not talking about the bad things, the potholes, the pitfalls, the things to avoid, they're a guru. And I think that's how you create authentic. Well, Rob didn't like that word, but I'm gonna say it, authenticity. Even they know that you're being real is when you talk about the bad stuff that's happened to you, to give them, what's the word I'm looking for? Clarity on what they're trying to accomplish. Because, dude, life's tough. Like, especially in business, dude, you're gonna have some pitfalls. You're gonna have some losses. And if you're not talking about some of the losses, then they're gonna see through the bullshit.
Yeah, like, let's go back to February, okay? The COVID thing, whatever. I remember I saw the news where they shut down the NBA, and I was like, damn, I don't even watch basketball, but I know that's serious. And then the next thing that happened is then, everything started tanking and all this stuff. And I remember my guy, Damon, who's my vice president right now, we sat and I said, what are we going to do? What's going to happen right now? And I share this openly because I saw big, like, we're talking big boys pull back, remove people, close things off, retreat. And I'm like, I don't even have a tenth of that money, and they're doing this. What does that mean? Well, you know what we did? I just went back to what I was truthfully good at. And that was a tough call, because at the same time, they had the SBA loans and all those things going out. And I consulted about 8 different people on if that was a good idea. 6 of the 8 said, don't do it. And I was like, fine. And innately, my first thing was, don't do it. And I didn't. And we ended up having February, highest month ever, March, highest month, April, highest month, May, highest month, June, highest month. You know why? We promoted harder than we ever had before. I spent way more money on advertising. And the people that I was training, what I would tell them was, and this can go for anybody at any time, and I think it's really applicable, because it took a lot of strength to do that. It took a lot of discipline to say, unless the virus is climbing over the goddamn railing into my room, I'm not going to focus on anything negative. I'm not going to talk about anything negative. I'm not going to talk about anything. I'm just going to talk about what's going to help people today. And the business exploded. Like, we just shot off. Same thing can happen for you in your space and what you're doing right now. It's just, what are you communicating? What are you promoting? And how committed are you to that? Because if I'm going down, I'm going to go down like, in flames, firing everything I've got. And it played out great. It played out great. You know what I mean? But it took a lot of energy to make that happen.
What Joey just said exactly what we were talking about. Be authentic, share your journey. People are drawn to transparency. Share the good and the bad. Great. Okay. Just
share you is the simpler deal. Just share you. Like, what happened? What is you? What is you? What movie is that from? What is you? What is you? Yeah. I'm trying to think. Anyway, but that's it. Like, there's no secret broken, like I hacked the algorithm. There is nothing like that. Because if there was, we'd all know about it. Or, I don't trust anything like that. I'm a grinder. I get in, I do what I have to do, and I keep doing it. I mean, 2 weeks ago, I personally did 1,028 pieces of content myself. That's not including the sales calls I did. That's not including the ads I made for the clients. That's not including everything else that we did during the day. Personally, that's what I did. And I don't think it's enough.
Love it. We have went from 250K in revenue, service, business, plumbing, to this year we would do 2 million in revenue. What's your thoughts to take it to the next level? We have SEO, billboards now, mailers, platforms, do okay, kind of weak, IMO.
What's IMO mean?
I don't know. What does that mean?
What is IMO?
In my opinion.
In my opinion, platforms do okay, kind of weak. Well, I mean, one of the things that we did, well, first of all, Facebook is basically not what it used to be anymore for advertising. So if you're trying to advertise on Facebook, I really wouldn't. What we ended up doing was we took all of our clients, and moved them over to Google and YouTube. And it has just been the most successful thing we've seen. It's stable. There's more control. It's really reliable. It's cost effective. That's what I would focus on. However, I don't know what level of content you've created or if you want to take it to the next level, but I mean, really just ask yourself, where am I at as far as being the authority in that space? Like, where am I at on that level? Maybe you're still kind of playing in the same deal with other people. I don't know. I don't know enough about your situation. That would be the first thing I would ask. I would just say, have you really solidified yourself as the ultimate, no questions asked, that's the guy we have to go to? And if the answer to that question is either a maybe or a no, you're not producing enough organic content and you're not promoting that, advertising that at that level. Now, here's the other problem. Unfortunately, we live in a world where people see really successful entrepreneurs advertising and marketing, and for whatever reason, there's this viewpoint that's adopted that you can immediately have that experience when you start advertising. And I'm sorry, it is not true. There is test periods. I mean, I've seen situations where ads turn on and they work. But you know when the ads worked the best? They worked the best when a brand was already built. If you just go and you're just like, we're going to turn on ads today. Good luck.
That makes sense, Rob. That makes
good luck.
That makes
good luck. You know? You should be investing the time and the energy that you can into creating content. Now, here's the other side. Here's the other side of that. Well, I don't get a lot of engagement. I maybe get 10 likes. Maybe 25 people see what I'm doing. Now, real estate people, same thing. You know, investing, same thing. Well, we don't get a lot of engagement. I don't care about the engagement, really. Truthfully, I don't care about the numbers, really, because I'm going to give you an example. I put a post out a week ago. And I mean, I get very good engagement, but sometimes I don't, and it's confusing. So I put this video out, great video, like awesome knowledge, 6 likes. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm Robert Syslo. 6 likes? What the hell is what? Like, I got offended by Facebook. Anyway, point of the matter, but here's what happened. That video went out. Somebody direct messaged me, and they were just like, hey man, I saw that video of yours that you put out last 2 days ago. And I'm like, the one that had 6 likes on it? In my head, he's like, yeah, the one where you talked about this. I'm like, really? Well, that turned into a $10,000 deal. And I'm like, damn, that's awesome. So that's why I don't worry about it, because it's being seen. And all you're really like Chris, okay, you're selling mobile home parks. You've got investment opportunities. What's the average? What's a good investment number?
I'm buying mobile home parks.
You're buying, right? You're buying, but you have opportunities where people can get involved with you. So, like, What's the one thing where you're like, man, that would be a pretty good day?
If in a mobile home park space, I mean, if we could buy one deal a month, one big park a month, which I'm on track to do, almost going 4 months in a row, but flipping houses and wholesaling, if we can wholesale and flip a house every other day. Or a wholesale house at least every other day.
What if you got one of those a month from social media? That would be awesome. Or an even lead just from that. That's how I think. I have a very different attitude towards promotion. Very, very different. The reason being is because I've been in situations where I've watched people build. I've helped people build. I've been involved with large scale ad budgets and seen what it takes to get it done. So I'm saying that to really correct expectations for you. You know, so the brands that the marketing and the advertising that performs the best in any industry, it's not just real estate, it's not just Forex trading, it's the ones that have established some form of organic development beforehand. And it doesn't even have to be a lot. Doesn't have to be a lot. It has to be consistent. There has to be a frequency to it. And then you would go and say, I'm going to put money behind this.
Then you put money behind. That makes a lot of sense. Guys, we got a few people on here. So if you don't know, if you're just hopping on, this is Robert Syslo. He's going to be speaking at my mastermind event, October 22nd, 24th. Yes, we still have a few spots left. I'm probably going to sell it within the next 2 weeks. I think we're about 4.5, 5 weeks out before the mastermind. Don't miss it. This is high level stuff, guys. This is how I built a brand. This is how I've scaled my real estate business. It's branding, marketing, and advertising, guys. This is if you can get this piece right, why would you try to figure all this out on your own? We're going to have Robert Syslo there to help you. And you don't have to be necessarily in real estate. You could be, maybe you're a realtor, maybe you're a plumber and you want to come, maybe you're whatever, right? But the stuff he's dropping right here about, you know, building a brand, putting out content, because I remember I'm pretty sure it was Robert that told me, he says, when branding is like on a cow, like we brand a cow, right? When somebody thinks of Chris Rood, you want them to think wholesaling, flipping, mobile home parks, real estate investor, 5 kids. Like the content I'll put out. So the content you guys put out for your business, the first thing that if you're constantly putting out content and they hear your name, then it's automatically going to go back to that mental image picture of when they saw. That's the brand in your mind that they're going to think about. Rob, would you agree with that?
I do. It's just an association, right? I mean, what do you want people to associate with you? That's the question. And, you know, I think about it from a lot of different angles. I think about it from, you know, if I'm going to say this, if I'm going to say something, what is going to be received on the other side? Try doing that. Try to predict what someone will think when you promote. And if you can get in that groove, which nobody talks about this, they just say, advertise, promote, spend it, do it. No, if you can think as you create this content and as you write something or you build something, how would you, what are all the possible ways this could be received? And then how would you communicate to all those possible ways, all those possible viewpoints? And if you watch my content, I do that. Like I'll be talking and then I'll think as I'm speaking, somebody's going to try to dispute this and I'll say what they're going to say.
Yep, I do that too. I try to think for the other person.
Yeah, but the reason you do that is because you're covering everything. You're having a conversation. Just because somebody doesn't respond or they watch it and they don't say anything doesn't mean that there's a communication happening. They're thinking about something. There's a thought happening, and that's communication. It's like you sent something to that person, and then they went, oh, yeah, I never thought about it like that. And that's communication, whether they respond or they don't. Right. And so really what you're trying to do is take responsibility for everybody involved, yourself, your people on the other side of your ads and your videos, and the people that don't even know you yet. That's a bigger one. How do you think about the people that don't even know you're there? How do you do that? Well, it's the same thing. I'm going to tell you something. You know, you're in sales. You do sales every day. I do sales every day. You probably have a common thread of objections and things that you need to handle. Commonalities that you'll be like, oh, this keeps, do you ever have that? Like you ever like keep meeting the same type of person and you're like, why do I keep meeting the same type of person? It's the same thing in marketing. You think that one person is the only person that doesn't have that same thought as you, or that person that you talk to on the phone. No. So all of my potential objections, all of my worries that I encounter on calls becomes fodder for my marketing. Every objection, every consideration, every reason that not to do it, every reason to do it, every benefit, all of that becomes what you should be talking about in your promotion marketing. That's some deep stuff right there. That is like the level that I'm thinking about. I'm like, man, how do I get that person to really just accept what I'm going to talk about? And the other thing is that I'm also not intentionally going out and trying to piss people off. You don't want to do that. Even if you don't agree with someone, okay, no reason to create antagonism. None, because it doesn't do anything. And if you do that, your brand is stained with that. Personally, I don't want that. I don't need that. I don't need to invite people to hate on me because I'm doing something to piss them off. What I can do is be coming from a place, the intention is different with what I'm doing. I'm looking at it from the viewpoint of, all right, I need to help someone today. That's all I want to do. I just want to help. And then you position yourself. This goes back to what Michael was saying. And what you're doing is you're positioning yourself as someone that's easy to experience and someone that actually is there. Like, how do you raise trust in an audience? Make it easy to experience for them. Because if you really think about it, how many problems do you have? We have problems. How do I go to this level? I got this project's behind this. You, how do we get this deal done? I don't need someone else to make me wrong. I'm doing everything I can to make it go right. Why are you trying to make me wrong? What I want is I want somebody on my team. I want someone I'm like, man, you know what? Chris is really looking out for us. I may not be able to work with him just yet, but I have the faith that he's helping. Same thing with me. You're building that trust, and that is worth more than money or anything material. Like that is a long-term play.
I think guys get caught up in building a brand. They want results now, and there's no monetary value you can put on it, especially when you first getting started, because it's like you're depositing money into this account that you can't even see. And you're just building a brand. It's like there's no, that you can't see it yet as far as money wise coming in. Like, because if people think that, oh, if I spend money in this brand, like, how do I know I'm getting anything out of it? Like, how do I know I'm actually making money with it yet? You don't, because it's inside of people's heads, right? And it grows, and you get a bigger audience. You get more and more people that know about you, and then it becomes a snowball effect. And once you've established that brand, people just know you, and then it grows organically because people start talking about you. And so it's one of those things that you just got to do it, right? It's like when you take
that viewpoint too. Like, don't sit there and say it's not working, because guess what? It's not going to work.
Well, it's like kind of like when you take vitamins, right, guys? You don't feel that it doesn't necessarily feel good when you take vitamin. You're like, man, I feel great when I take vitamin, but it's good for you, right? It's no different than building a brand. Just do the content, put it out. It's good for you. You may not see it right away. You may not feel it right away, but it's good.
Same thing. Here's a great example. I closed this deal. Like, it brought an extra 30 grand to the company. Twitter, of all platforms, who the hell talks about Twitter today? No one. No one talks about Twitter. Anyway, so I wasn't really trying on Twitter. I was just like, I'm going to put it over there. If it gets good, great. I'm just going to put it there. Well, so this person reached out and they were like, you know, I only use Twitter. Actually, I only use Twitter. I don't use Facebook, but I've been following you for the last 90 days. And I love what you're doing. Oh, no, it was 6 months. It wasn't 90 days. She's like, I love the content that you're putting out. 6 months. I don't know. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know anything. No interaction whatsoever. But the deal happened because of Twitter. But really what happened is that I started something 6 months ago, and I stayed consistent with that. And I reinforced this person's reaching for marketing. And it was like, you know what? I really like that. And then I'm going to reach now. And that's what you're talking about with the snowball effect, where it's like people will come in, they'll watch your lives, they'll watch your real estate, they'll see the checks that you're writing, all that stuff. And you just keep doing that. And somewhere around 90 days, 6 months, I don't know, it could be even sooner than that, you've built this momentum where someone established a trust with you and you didn't even know that it happened. But you, instead of thinking, I'm not getting an ROI on this, I'm not getting any dividends, no one's saying anything to me, promotion sucks. Well, if you stop now, you would have never gotten that deal. If I had said Twitter, no, I would have never gotten that deal. Right? Yeah. So that's the view. The viewpoint has to be a little bit broader and a little less selfish is really what it is. It's not about today. I mean, it is about today. Like, we all want to close deals today. But I also think in the future, it's like, if I do this and I keep grinding on this and I keep building this, I've just set the stage for the dividend to come back. I think of social media like real estate. Yeah. Every post is a little piece of property.
Yeah. Oh, I'm stealing that.
I'm surprised nobody's ever said that. Every post is a little piece of real estate.
And those
little pieces of real estate add up to a big payout.
And you got to collect rent. You put out the pieces of content, the pieces of real estate to get some rent. I love that. So Gerber said he's actually one of my partners in one of my deals. He just invested in one of my mobile home parks. He's from Vancouver, Canada. Guess how I met him? Social media.
Social media.
Well, he's an investor with me. Why? Because I built a brand.
A brand.
And he's in Canada. So, guys, the social media game is never in world history could you connect with so many people for free, folks. For free. Don't miss the opportunity. Who knows? This may go away in 5-10 years where social media is not even a thing. I don't know. Why would you miss this boat? Get on. So let's see. Let's answer some more of these
questions.
Hope
is talking about here. Hope, here's something for you. Here's what I do every day. So you made $25,000 on a deal from Facebook. Would you or would you not agree that that was a successful action? You'd be like, well, yeah, I made $25,000. Well, what I do is, if it's successful, we reinforce it and we do it more. And my promotion, so Damon and I, we have, so I'm not going to paint the picture that everything is pretty and perfect with our company. I mean, we've done amazing. We will do $1 million this year. I'm pretty excited in 1 year. You know, I got more to do, but hey, not bad. Point of the matter is there's a lot of ups and downs that can happen, but we track everything. I track every story. I track every Facebook post. I track every YouTube video. I track every email, every phone call. But the thing that is interesting is that when my promotion is going up, guess what? I'm making a lot of money. Guess what happens when my promotion goes down? I don't make money. So I can actually debug my own problem. I'd be like, holy crap, we didn't do enough promotion. And then we even factored it out. Like, I'm giving you this hope, like you should do this because it's magic. You need to look and say, hey, we need to do at least a minimum per day, 25 posts of some sort. Story. Probably that's going to be more story. I don't post all the time on the actual wall stuff. But you need to know in your mind, like, if I do this mixed with this many phone calls a day and this many write-ups a day, I get this much. And we have that to a science. Yep. We have it to a science. And that is something a little bit outside of promotion, like marketing oriented. That's a little bit more business oriented. But I mean, I'm running a company here. You know, we got 8 employees. We got a lot of clients. We do a lot. So I need to know what's helping and what isn't. And so if I put a post out and I made $25,000 from that, I'd be like, what post was that? What did I say? Was it a video? What was it? I need to know everything about that post. And then I need to extract and see how much more I could build that post out. How many other videos and pieces of content can I make on that? Then I'm going to run ads on that. I will spend money on that because I hit something that made someone say, we're going to do $25,000. See, that's how I think in marketing. Yeah, colors and explosions and websites and feeling and emotion, all that's a part of it. But what I'm really interested in is what got it done. What got the job done? And I need to reinforce that message, and I need to promote that as hard as possible. Man, I've grown up so much.
Just keep doing successful actions, guys. If that worked, Hope, just keep doing it until it doesn't work no more, right? That was a successful action. Repeat.
I'm sure you do it too. You do it all the time. You do lives all the time because it's successful.
I've been doing Facebook Live since I got hooked up with Rob 4.5 years ago, consistently every week for 4.5 years, and I have not stopped. I think I might have missed 2 weeks, maybe 3 in 4 years. I do a Facebook Live every week on something, and just because it works, right? So, because I know it works, because every time I do one, somebody inboxes me, hey, I want to work with you, or hey, I saw that mobile home park. I'd like to invest with you. Like, dude, just tell everybody what you're doing, how you're doing it, and how you can help them, right? All right, let's go on a few more questions. And let's see, 99% of my sales come from FB advertising, post brands. There you go.
Hi, Evelyn. How you doing?
Evelyn's awesome.
John, what's up, man?
I'm on constant networking through years.
I love that.
I have over 50 plus investors I've been in vetting. Let's see.
Well, I mean, even what Morris, the guy that was on the other day, like his whole thing, he built his whole thing with social media. He found investors on social media.
Yep.
They're there. It's just like that very first question, even though it had to do with Forex trading, it's the same thing. You've established trust. And trust is dependability. Trust is practical information. Trust is, I'm not doing anything to make you feel bad. I'm doing something that's actually going to help you today.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely. Let's see. What are your top 5 books, Rob? You want me to answer that, or something you want to answer?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll tell you. So my top 5 books, like from the stat standpoint and business standpoint, it's called Ethics by L. Ron Hubbard. #1 book, favorite book. Second book that I really, really love, Science of Survival, also by L. Ron Hubbard. Amazing book about people, you know, behavior, why people do things like that. Third book, Think and Grow Rich. Absolutely 110% that I love that. What am I at? 4. How to Win Friends and Influence People, just because it was the first personal development book I ever read. And it just was like an insight, like this is my stuff, but it was an insight for me to really understand that there was something else out there to communication. And that for me was absolutely just wonderful, because I struggled understanding the interaction between people, right? So that was a great thing. And then 5th favorite book, also L. Ron Hubbard, Problems at Work, just like rocking, understanding how, you know, understanding the workday world, understanding people, why you get tired, what's happening, how to do that, how to keep the energy up and keep going. So those are my top 5. Yeah.
Awesome.
60% have come from LinkedIn, and 40% word of mouth. That's awesome.
LinkedIn's huge, guys. Make sure you guys are posting not just on Instagram and Facebook. LinkedIn is huge.
Yeah. LinkedIn. I mean, I had a call. What I had a call with a guy from Ireland off of LinkedIn the other day. Best thing. Like, again, I did this post, no engagement. I was like, what is going on? Like it had a little bit, but it was just like, it's turning into a huge opportunity. You know, so and here's the other thing, guys. People can buy numbers. That's the other thing. People can buy numbers today. It looks good, doesn't mean it's real. People can buy numbers. So don't get disturbed. That's one of the core things of my messages, especially when you're first starting out in real estate, whatever industry that you're in. It's not about the numbers. It's about the activity. It's about the action. It's just the action of doing the promotion is more important than anything else. The numbers will come. The numbers will come. Remember why you're doing it.
When you say the numbers, people, you're talking about how you can buy the
likes. Well, yeah, like you can buy likes,
yep.
You can buy views, you can buy anything today. You can buy it. So it's more about like, you know, what are you? It's just that's why I stress the action so much. The action's so important. What's your best 2 way of marketing? I'm not sure I understand that question. Your best 2. Oh, my best 2 ways of marketing. Okay. So my best 2 ways of marketing, there's videos, obviously, like I just crank videos out and I'll just post those videos. And then if the video does well, so I analyze the video and I say, all right, this got X amount of engagement. This had, you know, this said this was this long. I talked about this. And then I would take that and I'd run an ad with it. So I'd put money behind it. That would be the first way. And then the second way is I love my Instagram and Facebook stories. Like people communicate with me like nobody's business with those things. And it's just, I'm not sure why. I mean, I know there's other platforms out there and there's a lot of other stuff, but for me, like Instagram stories is awesome because it's just something where you see it, you can instantly interact with me and I get the message. And I communicate to them, and when we can build a relationship with them. Like I told you at your last event, I gave the story as how paddleboarding made me an extra $60,000 in my business that year because people were just like, "That's cool, man. What are you doing? Talk to me about that."
I was watching that. I was inboxing you about it because I thought it was so cool.
Yeah, and we would just talk, and then I'm like, "So what do you do for business? Like, what do you got? Like, tell me about yourself." Voila, done. That's it.
Yeah, you
share the Range Rover. I saw you went on a trip recently. Like yep. People will talk to you about that stuff. And then it's a you're just having a conversation. Like there is no secret. It's just, we're talking. That's all it is.
The strange thing about human beings, guys, everybody's interested, right? Everybody's interested. They're interested in other people. So share your life and then give value while you're sharing your life. And that's all I do. You know, I just went to the mountains in Colorado and RVing with my family. I'm drinking coffee, doing a coffee with Chris and Roodisms on Instagram and just talking about life.
Roodisms.
So and that's all it is. It's just my experience of being a human being for the past 40 years, what I've noticed, what I've observed, what's helped me, what's worked. And people are interested in that, right? And I show my kids fighting in the background and Big Mama because, I didn't do something, but it's real life and people don't appreciate that.
Yeah, totally. 100%.
So awesome.
What other questions we got?
Let's see. We're going to take a few more. Some are not real. Instagram is also awesome for marketing, 100%. Yep. But anyway, guys, yeah, listen, get to this mastermind. Look, the best people on this planet go to masterminds. Why? Because the people that you are looking for you also, right? Because if you're on this and you follow me, you're probably a strange bird, just like me, just like Rob. Rob's a strange bird.
I am strange.
Rob does things that most human beings just can't do. I do things that most people just can't do, right? I mean, that's why I get results that most people don't have. Yeah. So you got to get out of your own way and start doing stuff that most people aren't doing. And most people are just not going to masterminds because their brother, their aunt, their uncle, their mom and dad will say, hey, that's a scam. Why are you doing that? Those guys are just going to scam you. Listen, folks, this is where the knowledge bombs get dropped. Robert just talked about Think and Grow Rich. A whole chapter is dedicated to the mastermind. A whole chapter is dedicated to the mastermind theory. What happens when you get a bunch of high-level guys together talking shop? It elevates you, and it gives you, it's the mastermind, right?
He was so onto something. Like, he was just so there with what he was talking about. And, you know, I want to be around people like me that are a little bit over the line because they're playing something bigger. They want to play something. They're going for something, you know? And I mean, I could stop right now and I could just kind of keep where I am. And I'd be like, dude, this is badass. This is it would have taken me 3 years to make what I made this year in my other position. But now it's just like, dude, like, where can you go? How much more could you do? And that's why I'm all fidgety all the time. Dude, last night I was trying to go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning. And all I was thinking about was, how do I make this blow up more? Oh my God, this is so much fun. Where could we take this? And then you get around people like you, Chris. I love talking to you, you know, your wife and kids and all that. And then everybody that goes to these masterminds, the same thing. They're all there because they want to play something bigger. And they stay up at 2 o'clock in the morning and like, my God, what am I going to do right now?
It's just a game, folks. Play a bigger game.
One thing I wanted to say, because you kind of touched on it, and I think it's really important. I don't know how many people are on here. I can't see live, but here's one thing. Like, if all else fails and you don't know how to promote and you've never, you know, you're like, man, I'm shy, I'm this, I'm that. You just got to go back to this one thought, this one little thought. And you kind of touched on it. You were like, people are waiting for you. Well, people are waiting for you to talk. They're waiting. How many people are confused? How many people have the wrong information? Now let's go at a deeper level, ethically speaking. Could you allow someone else to promote the wrong information and be successful at promoting the wrong information that you willingly know is damaging someone? Wouldn't that make you an accomplice? So what are you doing with your promotion today to change that? Boom. That's all I'm going to say.
Love it. Love it, guys. Like, this is just a tidbit snapshot of what you're going to get at this mastermind, right? We're gonna get you some high level information. We're gonna help you build a brand. We're gonna help you get out of your comfort zone. We're gonna help you brand, market, and distribute it to the world so you can get known, right? And that's what Mr. Robert Syslo is gonna help you with. Inbox me if you want to come to this mastermind. I've got limited seating. It's not cheap because I'm not cheap. I'm very valuable. I'm rare, and things that are valuable and rare are expensive, right?
You are rare.
Big Mama tells me that all the time.
That's awesome.
But hey, don't wait till the last minute. We'll be sold out here in the next 2 weeks. Inbox me. I guarantee you will get massive value. No doubt. Rob is going to deliver. All the other speakers are going to deliver. This is going to be a great event. Plus, we're in Destin, Florida, guys. Destin. Have you been to Destin, Florida?
Yes, I have.
It is beautiful.
Beautiful. It is like, it's like Truman Show beautiful. It's perfect. It's awesome.
Yep. Awesome. All right, guys. And then Hope says, thank you for the motivation to build content, not be focused on so much on how many are listening.
It only takes one person.
Yep.
If you made 25 grand from, you got 5 people that watched it, one person paid you 25, God damn, the ROI is it's not even quantifiable.
That is so
true. It's infinite, you know? So I'm looking forward to being at the mastermind, Chris. Thank you very much for having me on. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you at that mastermind. You know, it's fun for me to be able to do what I do and come out and say, hey, I'm here. This is what we're doing, and use my own voice the way that I want to do it. So I'm hoping to help you with that too and help you accelerate in your career as well.
Awesome, Rob. Appreciate you, brother. And guys, if you're still interested in learning how to do real estate, look, there's nobody better in the business. I'm doing deals every day. I'm buying mobile home parks, apartments. I'm doing it. I'm doing this business. If you want to learn, go to chrisrood.com, book a call with me. Rob's got my funnel all set up. Look at my website. That's Mr. Robert Syslo website. He does all my marketing and branding for me. Not only do I promote him, I'm one of his customers, right? So
I'm going to be one of your customers too soon.
There you go.
Talk about that. Talk about that offline.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys on the next live, and inbox me if you're interested. Appreciate you guys. Rob, appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
Hang tight.